This is Jane from atticmag.com. I'm at the Winter Antiques Show with Stuart Lockheed, who's with the Daniel Katz Gallery, and they're one of the two new exhibitors this year. And the reason they're new and were very much sought after this year is because they have such wonderful expertise in sculpture. And Stuart's going to tell us about this bust that's French, and it's terracotta.
Yes, that's
terracotta,
right.
I believe. And so he's going to start here, Stuart Lockheed.
Hi there. Yes, so it's an 18th century artist called Roland who was working in Paris towards the end of the 18th century in the 1770s, 1780s, and he was quite well known for doing portraiture, and he did executed pieces in terracotta as well as marble. Terracotta is more unusual for him and often can be a sketch model or a preparatory model for the marble. But when he was doing these types of things, particularly of the children, it was very intimate. The material is much more sort of sketchy and fresh, a bit like a drawing. Terracotta can have that sense, it's more immediate. And you see the artists actually, you can sense the working tool marks and the freshness. And this is very interesting because he's applied, after it was fired, so that he works in the wet clay and then it's fired, he then puts a plaster covering on it and then works it up again, so it gets an even more fresh feeling. And this is the original terracotta base, which he's painted to make it look like marble. So it's a beautiful combination, and it's probably one of his children. He did quite a few busts of his children, so he is probably one of his children. And this is a little different, but the same period, French also. And
was it 19th century?
It's 19th century.
19th century.
And obviously much more finished.
Mm-hmm.
And a different kind of scale. It's more sort of mythological subject, and it's about female form and about how highly finished something can be. And so you can see the detail.
Move around it.
Yes,
yeah, to get the detail.
Actually,
yes.
you need to move around it because it's got so much to see.
She's very pretty.
She's very beautiful.
She looks like a young girl.
Yes, she's just come out the bath, and her cloth is draped on the
back behind her
on the tree there.
Okay.
And maybe she's just been spotted by someone because she's looking out. So it's got a lovely sense of sort of anticipation and surprise about it. And again, the surface is beautifully finished up.
And this is the same artist?
This is by a man called Michel, who was the brother of a very famous sculptor called Clodion, who also worked in terracotta. And there was a family of them working. There's a couple of examples of this in the Louvre, but he's quite a rare sculptor. And this is dated. This is signed by the artist.
And the date of this is?
It's about 1780.
1780.
1780. So it's similar in date, towards the end of the 18th century.
Well, that's lovely. Thank you so much for explaining and giving us the tour, and it's a pleasure to be here. Jane from atticmag.com at the Winter Antiques.